Y'all know what it is. Another episode of that shit that got me blowing on something fat. Once again, any videos I show are owned by the owners and creators. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Check out North Story.
Getting in trouble at an early age, but he always had hoop dreams and felt like basketball could be the thing to uplift him and his family out of the hoods of Philly. But he couldn't stay on track in school and was eventually kicked off the basketball team. He tried to go legit and got a job working at Walgreens, but that only lasted for a few months. And soon he was back in the streets in North Philly hustling until he got locked up on drug charges. And that's when he realized it was time to make a change in his life. And he was going to do it by taking the same path as his dad and becoming a rapper. Cheese would spend countless hours in the studio with his dad as a kid, watching him perfect his craft. So rapping was in his blood. He had been doing it since he was 9 years old as a hobby, but now he wanted to do it as a career. He realized that it was nothing but trouble waiting for him in the streets, and he witnessed his own father barely make it out. In the summer of 2006, Gillie was shot 3 times in an attempted robbery. And in the following year of 2007, Gillie and his associates were arrested on drug charges after 2 stash houses were raided in the Oxford section of the city and 100 pounds of marijuana was discovered.
I was somewhere I ain't need to be. Well, really, I can't say I ain't need to be, but I was in a hood that wasn't mine. But here in Philly, we call it a Rican knot. I had a goddamn Juan Rodriguez knot on me, you hear me?
I didn't say you had a Juan Rodriguez knot.
You know what I mean? Even the best of us get tagged once in a while. You know what I mean? So what about nothing, man? You know what I mean? God had.
Everyone involved with the case kept quiet, and nobody talked to law enforcement, and ultimately the charges would be dismissed. Gillie was one of the lucky ones. He was able to transition out of the streets and make a lucrative career for himself making legal money. Cheese wanted to do the same, but he didn't want to lean on his dad's connections in order to make it. He wanted to stand on his own 2 feet and truly be self-made. In 2019, he released his debut album, Born a Star. Then he started making music with his brother Mac, and they created a group called Mac and Cheese. They released a single called Ignore, which also started to get them some recognition as well. YNG Cheese knew that he had what it took to make it in the music world, but he also knew that if he wanted to reach the heights that he was destined for, he would have to leave Philadelphia in order to do it. He spoke about it in an interview, saying that he loved this city, but he also knew that there was a lot of hate there in the streets, especially for rappers. He hired armed security for when him and his guys were moving around the city, so nobody would have to catch an unnecessary gun charge or possibly even a body. He stated that he knew he had to move smarter because he had a 1-year-old son, and he wanted to make sure that he was there for him and that he didn't have to grow up without a dad like so many other kids in Philadelphia.
What's in Philly? I guess we make it. I don't know. Yeah, we make it. Yeah, definitely. But we make it. It depends who you is. Like for niggas like me, like rappers, motherfuckers that, it's a lot of hate, a lot of shit going on, so. Right. I don't even put myself in them. Shit get tricky out here. But you gotta move smart. Like, we the type people I don't put my homies in risk, get locked up, get killed, none of that.
See, the problem be when you moving smart, right? That means moving tactical every move. It's never a time that it's not tactical. The move you make.
Your homies getting locked
this
up.
This is what you in. When niggas in that.
Unfortunately, Cheese would never reach his dreams
really
of stardom. After being
gutter part of it, he gotta be all time.
His father, Gillie the Kid, opened up about how losing Cheese affected their family.
He was talking smart and he was moving smart. It seemed like he had paid security, but at some point he didn't have it. I mean, he didn't have that around him, and that's how he got.
So I walk out, Gil come out.
But this is one of the Joker's famous.
What's going on?
Victim.
What's up?
Allegedly.
He beat me, put my head down. That was the worst thing I ever told anybody. And I was like, man, he's gone.
And I feel about life.
He's gone.
Today. I feel about life today, just to be honest with you, bro. It's difficult. I just lost my son. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I appreciate that. I struggle every day. You know what I mean? My son was a year older than you. You know what I'm saying? So I struggle every day. You know, when I wake up,
That's
that's the
Gilly.
first thing
That's
I
his
think
son,
about.
huh?
You know what I'm saying?
You know he got pains, all kind of
I gotta be
problems.
strong for my family.
But despite
And then,
Cheese's
they
murder
got
being
people that
highly
could draw.
publicized and talked about on multiple major news outlets, law enforcement still had no leads in solving the case. There were internet rumors that Gilly's past in the streets had something to do with his son's death, and since they couldn't get to him, they went after Cheese instead. But those rumors would be proven false after social media posts, as well as music, began to circulate of an individual seemingly taking credit for YNG Cheese's murder. It's the freedom.
Skip 20. Sponsor. Skip 20. Play next and a few introductions later.
We had intermission, so
Skip 15.
this is the beginning of the Joker, and this is really a fascinating story because he's unlike any other rapper for one specific thing.
Skip button. Enter 25.
Top student in the class.
He was going by the name of Joker OTV and hid his identity behind a Joker mask from the 2008 film The Dark Knight, with the Joker being portrayed by actor Heath Ledger. There was talk in the streets that Cheese's murder was retaliation for a shooting that happened just 3 weeks prior. At around 9:30 p.m. on May 29th of 2023, there was a quadruple shooting in the Frankfurt neighborhood. A 66-year-old man named Ivan Hall would be shot and killed, and 3 15-year-old teenagers would be wounded, but they all survived. One of those teens was named Noah Scurry, a star basketball player at Samuel Fells High School. According to staff members who worked at the school, he was well-mannered, very respectful, and beloved by teachers and students alike. He was a straight-A student who scored the highest SAT scores in the entire school.
Great example of Jekyll and
offers
Hyde.
from multiple D1 schools from across the country. His road to success was right in front of him. He just needed to walk the path. He was seen as a great kid by those who knew him and seemed to be an all-American boy by day. But when the night fell, he turned into his alter ego, Joker OTV, terrorizing his ops with switches. Despite having basketball opportunities that could take him far away from North Philly, he still chose the streets and would become one of the deadliest shooters in his gang.
And
Double
to be this
C's,
at
certified
night,
clappers, Parkside.
a
They're known
psycho, a
to be
Jekyll
for
and
the crew
Hyde.
called M24, as well as their affiliates named
I mean,
Fast Break,
you know,
a
in
group of
streets
young,
like that,
wild shooters who are
even
known
if
for
they
being
going to
very
school and they
reckless
drilling,
extremely
they ain't getting them
The
grades.
two gangs have been
His
waging
path
war
was
against
paved
each other
for
in
success.
Northeast Philly for years, with multiple bodies dropping on both sides. Joker OTV and the certified clappers took full responsibility for the shooting that killed YNG Cheese, as well as other members of M24 that they claimed to have killed, like Twin 5, who allegedly shot somebody in the leg who was down with Parkside, and in return, he would be murdered in March of 2021.
Around the wheel and put one in his head. I ain't gonna lie, them niggas hit me in my leg. So I'm spinning every day until them niggas dead.
The shooting death of Twin 5 would be followed by another murder of an alleged M24 member named A. John Jackson, also known as AJ, who was shot to death after
so we're
returning
gonna
home
conclude
from his
this,
shift at
and
McDonald's
it was
with his
just
twin
something that
sister. His family stated that
inspired
he had
me,
nothing
you know,
to do with
and
the
you can see
streets,
the
and that he
tragedy
was a normal high
of
school
your
kid with a
choices,
job.
even when you
But according
have
to his ops, he was a target,
the option.
and a member of the
Even
certified
when you have
clappers named Hardy
and this
would
is
mention him
unreal
and
because
Twin 5 on a song called On How.
he
that
was
would
a
go on
regular
to get
school
over 1
kid
million views on YouTube.
in the daytime. He went to school. You know. So, go to school, y'all. Make sure. And love me, like me, share me, and get me out there. I holla.
Bodies that we swap, steady screaming, get back, so how y'all